Hi, this is Gabriel Benitez from Sound Devices, and we're here at IBC 2018. And I'd like to show you the audio limited devices that we have at the show. So let's start with the A10 rack. The A10 rack is a single rack unit, rack mount interface for the A10 receiver. The A10 receiver is a dual channel, a wireless microphone receiver that works, that has both analog and AES outputs. When that receiver is connected to the A10 rack, the back of the rack will provide XLR outputs as well as Dante. But here's the kicker. The A10 rack is also compatible with Electrosonics and WYSICOM receivers. And so you can use these without the A10 necessarily. The biggest advantage of the A10 rack is the RF distribution. It can power active antennas. You can turn on the A10 rack with the active power DC on, or you can turn them with the active DC power off if you want to conserve battery and you're using passive antennas instead of actives. It will accommodate 4 receivers. Here you have the RF antenna outputs of the A10 rack to feed every receiver. In the back, there are also cascade outputs. The cascade outputs are located here, and you can take the RF output of one A10 rack and connect it into the RF input of the second A10 rack, maximum 1 cascade only, to get up to 16 channels. So, in summary, the A10 rack is not only ideal for carts, but then it's also great for any application where you need to repurpose portable receivers or bag receivers and then put them into a rack mount scenario. Next, I would like to show you the bag version of the A10 receiver. It has this bottom plate with the cables exiting off to the side, and that was designed for it to sit in a bag and not crimp the cables. You have 2 XLR outputs, one for channel 1, one for channel 2, and then the DC power actually has a pigtail that allow you to daisy chain multiple receivers. So off of one, for example, if you're using an MP battery accessory, you can connect multiple receivers and including your recorder and feed them off of one. This is what the A10 SL slot looks like. And the really neat thing with Audio Limited is that if you need to go from an SL slot to a bag, you just need to purchase the accessory, remove the 4 screws, put the accessory you want, and now you've repurposed your receiver. Let's talk about the A10 transmitter. The transmitters have the unique feature that the input is a balanced microphone input with true phantom power. It has 48 and 12 volts of phantom. The option is there to conserve transmitter battery. You can disconnect a phantom-powered microphone like a shotgun and then connect a lapel mic, and it will not blow up the lapel mic. The moment the lav is unplugged, it detects and it will readjust its transmitter input, keeping your original sensitivity and allow you to connect your shotgun microphone. Now, it's very important that you use our cable because the XLR connector on that cable has RF filtering to prevent noise from getting into the system. It's not a straight XLR to LEMO 3. There's some actual components in there that make that happen quietly. Other highlights of the A10, the transmitter has a built-in recorder, and it also has timecode. So you can record audio in here, and let's say you're doing a reality show and the talent goes out of the RF range of your antennas. Well, the recorder there to back up in case there's an RF drop. That audio can then be used in post and be recovered. And because you can timecode synchronize these transmitters, naturally it will sync with the content in post. Other features in terms of RF, the transmitters, there are 3 models of the transmitters. One is 78 megahertz wide, one's 90 megahertz wide, and one's 100 megahertz wide. The receivers are full wideband, so they will scan and operate from 470 to 694. And I said scan because the receivers do scan, and they can either give you a full map out of the RF spectrum, or the other thing that the receiver can do inside the scan is tell you, let you narrow down in 25 megahertz blocks which band do you want to scan in and see what the RF activity looks like. Now you're probably wondering, what is this? Not the computer, I'm talking about what's on the computer. So we're collaborating with WaveTool in order for their software to not only scan audio, but RF. And here we have antenna A, antenna B, plus audio scanning in real time. Now maybe if you're doing 1 or 2 channels, this might be a little cumbersome, or maybe give you something additional to work with. Now, if you're doing a reality show with 18 to 20 talent, and you don't know where they are, or you're trying to follow them on multiple monitors, having the WaveTool with an icon for every talent to see how their audio is, to see how their RF levels are, is fantastic. Because if you're watchful, you can actually predict before something may happen just by looking at how strong the antennas come in. And you can call in for radio and perhaps bring that talent in before something happens in real time. So that summarizes what the solutions that we're showing at IBC here at the Sound Devices and Audio Limited booth. For more information for Sound Devices products, please go to sounddevices.com. For more information on Audio Limited products, go to audiolimited.com. And thank you for watching.